Coffee talk. Boston walk. It's terrible. Don't cut that, please.
Welcome to the Renegade Podcast. I'm your co-host, Todd, and with me,
Uncle Mark.
Each episode, we share a run, a trail run, a walk, a power hike with you, our listeners, while we explore this curious thing that we call running.
That's right. And always stay curious. Should we play by the rules, or is it better to trust our guts? Renegade. I love that.
Each episode, you learn from the elites, the professionals, doctors, scientists, the amateurs, and the underdogs. And tonight, you're going to learn from Mark and I. Because what is this episode called, Mark?
This episode is called Short Shorts, where we explore facts, quick little topics on running.
You're saying that we're going to talk about some common or maybe some uncommon running topics with the help of Grok, and we'll just have a conversation. We'll chat about it. It's like, it's coffee talk.
Coffee talk. Boston walk. It's terrible. Don't cut that, please.
For this episode, I am going to enjoy a Hyena IPA from Tecumseh, Ontario. I met the brewer at the Windsor Waterfront Half Marathon and 5K that we ran on September 14th or September 15th. I can't remember. I did.
You've had too many hyenas.
I had too many of these non-alcoholic beers. I'm hammered.
Question. Was the brewer giggling the whole time he was talking to you, like a hyena would?
Well, that's a good one. I should have asked why they call it hyena. Because that's an interesting name, but there is a picture of a hyena on it. Like, look at it.
But you read in the description, though, it says high something, and then E, the E was something else. Electrolytes.
Oh, that's what it stands for.
That's what I guessed.
Electrolyte non-alcoholic must be.
There you go.
I
got it.
Mark,
hyena.
This is why you get paid the big bucks.
I just like hyenas.
That's right. And this episode is brought to you by Thrive Protein, Canadian-made protein, nutrition, electrolytes, fuel, all the good stuff to help you fuel your great adventures. And we thank Thrive for being a great friend of the podcast. Check them out, thriveprotein.ca.
Yeah, we'll put some information in the comment section to how you can get in touch with Thrive and check out all their great products. I wonder if they have any maple syrup flavored products. I mean, as a Canadian manufacturer, I mean, it could be an idea. Would you want a maple syrup shake or flavored electrolytes, anything like that? What do you think?
You know, there used to be a Canadian maple syrup gel. And I remember taking it, and it had a little bit of salt in it, but it was like taking a tablespoon of maple syrup. It was really good.
Spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. Okay, so.
All right, Mark. Hot takes. Short shorts.
Hot short shorts. First topic, Todd. So, honestly, anything that comes to your mind when when we go into this topic. So, the first is called running superstitions and rituals, lucky charms, or just pace placebos. So, Todd, if you're running shoes, okay, take again.
You're running with your coot hanging out.
Your running coot. Gotta make sure.
That's why the producer can cut that from the episode.
Yeah, that's why you either need to have mesh or you need to have some sort of spandex underneath, so your running coot doesn't fall. Okay, Todd, this segment is called Short Shorts, where we explore some very unique, very interesting topics in relation to running. So the first topic we're going to run into is running superstitions and rituals, lucky charms, or just pace placebos. So the question is, what's the wildest ritual you've tried? Like eating a specific candy bar during mid-run or any kind of other food? And did it actually boost your PR or just give you a sugar high?
Well, I would say that most runners are a little bit superstitious or a whole lot superstitious. And I'm going to speak for myself here. When I'm training for a marathon and when I run marathon, there's a couple like non-negotiables that I have to do leading up to the marathon morning, and like the marathon itself. And the superstitions, and maybe that's a bad way to call it, but I always want to get in a long run about 30 seconds away from my marathon pace, 30 seconds per kilometer. Long run for me, maybe 25K, maybe 30 kilometers. So maybe a 2 hour, 45 minute long run. And I do that just to get that little mental boost that no matter how many marathons I've ever ran, I think I've done 16. I still have that self-doubt a week out, a couple weeks out. So I'll do that. That's a marathon, pre-marathon superstition. Now, when I first started running marathons, I was probably big into this. I did I laid out the clothes the night before and I mapped everything out and I had it all laid out. And then I would go out and lay a turd in the course. And it's like, obviously it wasn't working for me. So I kind of gave that up from that perspective. But for my marathon, what I like to do is I have my favorite pair of shoes. I usually break them in ahead of time. I've been running my Ultra Vanish Carbons, the 2s. They're fantastic. I'll usually wear the same Exoskin socks. I've been having them for 3 or 4 years. I wear the same socks, and I only wear them for the marathon. I'll pull out my favorite Path Project tank top and my Path Project shorts that I want for that day. And I always have like an ultra running headband. So if you kind of ever see me on my socials, sometimes you see me walking around doing a little video at the start of a marathon. I got my ultra headband on. Why? I don't know. I never wear a headband. Or it's like that neck nuzzler thing or whatever it's called. Like a bandit. I only wear it for the marathon. Like it's the only day. And I wear it for probably 1 kilometer. Yeah, we haven't robbing bag yet. And I wear it for about 1 kilometer. Then I overheat. So I take it off my head and I always put it on my wrist. So that's kind of like maybe I've been doing it for such a long time. It's kind of a habit.
So what about like music? Do you have like a pre-run song like Flock of Seagulls or Running Down a Dream?
That's
anything like that?
That is a very interesting question. Absolutely. I would say that for myself, usually the year and the time of year will dictate the type of music I'm listening to. So I would say the last 2 marathons that I've been running, I've been listening to the Lumineers. There you go. So I usually put that on the headset and off I go listening to that. Before that, it's been a mix of all kinds of stuff. Renegade is proud to be sponsored by Thrive Protein. We love sharing what works for us. Power your runs and fuel your endurance with Thrive Protein, the premier plant-based supplement brand crafted for endurance athletes. They offer high-quality vegan protein powders, whey, super greens, and electrolytes and creatine. Thrive's clean Ontario-made products fuel your body with natural ingredients with no artificial fillers, designed to boost recovery, enhance endurance, and keep you strong on the trails, the roads, or wherever your endurance adventure takes you. Thrive is perfect for every athlete chasing their big goals. Visit thriveprotein.ca and use the code RUNEGADE for 20% off your order. Thrive Protein. Fuel your relentless pursuit of adventure. What about you?
I like it.
What's your superstition? Like you're waking up in the morning, you're going for your easy run. Like what are your non-negotiables? Like what do you have to do to get out the door?
Okay. Before I get out the door, I need to make a pot of coffee. Make sure it's running in case, the family wakes up and I say the family, my wife's the only other one in the house that drinks coffee. But so it's ready and good to go, nice and hot for her. And then also, so when I come home, I can have like another like half cup before I shower. In terms of equipment, gear, and stuff like that, it really depends on the time of year. So if I don't require light, then it's a lot easier to get out there. If it isn't, then I try and dig through where I threw my like headgear and stuff last time from the previous time I ran. And that clothes wise and that, I've got a pair of these it's gonna sound funny, but Lululemons that are shorts that they have the line like a spandex liner on the inside, keep everything in place, And I'd say those tend to be my go-to, but I have some really nice Path Project shorts that I've been working into the mix too. So they make me feel a little bit lighter because
Is it something that if you don't wear them, that you think something bad's going to happen? They're your lucky shorts.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole thing about the
superstition, right? Yeah. I would say, you know what? There really isn't much that I'm like, if, as you know, Todd, I haven't ran an actual race yet. So, I mean, maybe if I was like super duper competitive and I was like, I did something the last time that I cannot change. But since I'm like a leisure runner, anything goes almost, which is kind of sad. So this is a really poor question for me because I'm not really superstitious about my leisurely runs outside right now. So maybe
I would say I'm with you on that. We're 2 for 2. I would say maybe when I first started running, when I first started doing the races, maybe a little bit more superstitious. Now I don't give a shit because I'm not running that fast anyway. And something terrible always happens. It's either a hot day, something happens, and Hey, that's the marathon gods. I think we talked about that in one of our episodes about the running gods. You got to appease the running gods. And there is some science to it. Remember Hutchison was on our first podcast, not our first podcast, but one of our first episodes. And he was talking about like superstitions, and maybe he wasn't on it. Maybe it was something else we were talking to him about. And it was like, sometimes people will put a lot of thought into a superstition and it's a distraction, and it can be a distraction. But if it doesn't work for you, then I don't know. Superstitions aren't that good. But if you have a wild superstition, write us on RUNEGADE Podcast@gmail.com. We want to hear about these superstitions.
Yeah, and maybe we can dig into the old swag bag and see what we can send out to the best superstition that somebody comes up with. That's a real thing. That's not just something that you manufacture. So that's the key thing. So yeah, write us. And one last thing I was going to say, this isn't really a superstition, but I know I'm going to have a better run when I go to the washroom before we go, because I hate that feeling of being mid-run and you're like, oh, I'm starting to slow down because things are happening. So I was mentioning in an earlier podcast or even earlier today that I tend to run in a cemetery, and there is facilities there, but I don't dare use them right now. So I try to do everything I can to avoid that. So anyway, that's just more of a helpful hint for anybody who's just getting into running. It's just make sure you take care of yourself.
It's a very serious topic. It's a very serious topic. Before races, I think a lot of runners are either going number 1 or going number 2 multiple times. It's just the nerves. I don't know what it is. When I first started running, I was the same way. Like, I would be in the porta potty, and you know what? You're trying to get the business done, and because you just don't feel that well until we'll speak freely here. You want a big dump. You don't want to be running with a couple pounds of crap in you. You want an empty bowel, and you want to be racing fast. But then sometimes I talk to runners, because you talk about weird stuff when you're running. You can freak yourself out because you're like, I didn't go. So you could be in the washroom freaking yourself out, getting all worked up before a race when you don't need to have to worry about that. Yeah. If it happens, it happens. Porta potty's on the course, and I've stopped mid-race, and it's mainly taking a piss. I don't know. I don't drink that much water, but I don't know. That's what I find more than taking a dump. Yeah,
and I'd say that carries into pretty much every other aspect of my life. You know, if I'm going for a long drive or going to work, going to the mall,
you got to take a big dump.
You just feel better when you're not only your conscience but your tract is clear. Anyway, that went off
on the trail runs. When you're on the trail runs, and we were talking about this with some of the guests over the years. If it happens on the trail and there's no facilities, you go off the trail, a couple hundred meters, dig a little hole, do your business, cover it all up, and then head back. And I don't think I've ever done that during a trail race because I don't run that far. But like JFK, I ran for 12 hours. And if you're not going to the washroom in the first couple hours, you're not going to go over the rest of the day, for at least for me. And I'm also not eating crap the entire time. I'm trying to watch what I eat. So yeah, the 2 JFKs, I didn't have to go to the washroom during the race. Not number 2, not number 1. Yeah, I went a ton of times.
Little known fact. So when you do it on a trail, is it considered scat? Kind of like if you come across like bear or panther stuff, is that just part of nature now, right? But I guess you have to bury it.
Well, hopefully you're digging a hole. Hopefully you dug the hole deep enough so you don't see it.
Who has time to dig a hole? It's usually like if you're having to go in nature, it's usually because it's an emergency. I'm not gonna. I should probably. What if you bury it under a bunch of leaves? Is that acceptable, or is that like wrong kind of etiquette?
I think our audience is going to dial in or write us in and tell us should you dig a hole or should you just cover it with leaves? I'm going to go with dig a hole. I don't know about
just
that.
Become food for something else.
It's funny, and running and poop. I think if I had a piece of advice that I could give somebody, when you're running, if you're in a race and you start to feel it, just pull off the course right away. Get it done. Don't try to hold it thinking it's going to go away. You're going to fight the urge. I think you're much better off just to pull off, do your business, and get back running. But I think runners like, I got to set my PB. So they're going to be out there. And next thing you know, they're clenching. And I think there was a video of somebody towards the end of a finish line taking a dump. And they pulled their shorts down. They took a dump in the middle of the road. That'd be me. That'd be like something I would imagine, but
yeah, you're gonna end up with a different kind of PB, a poopy bum.
Poopy bum. And then you live on the infamy on the internet of taking a dump in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
I don't know. I find that funny.
Yeah.
Like,
you gotta know when to hold them.
Probably thinks about it. Yeah.
You gotta know when to hold them, and you gotta know when to fold them.
That's right. You got to go 1 or 2. Just get off the course, go 1 or 2, and get back on. Maybe that's a superstition.
Yeah, quite the visual for our short shorts here. All right, let's try. Okay, Todd. So in this episode of Short Shorts, we're going to explore some off the path questions that trying to get to know you a little bit more. So, Todd, running in weird places, trails less traveled, and urban adventures. So what's the strangest place you've ever laced up, i.e. like an airport, layover, midnight beach sprints? And what unexpected perk did it offer? So have you ever ran somewhere weird and then you're like, it was weird and I liked it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say I think I probably almost ran everywhere that you could imagine running. I like to bring my running shoes when I travel for work and go away on vacation. It's the best way to see a city, put the shoes on, wander around, try to get lost. That's always fun. New trails. I like going to like places. When we were in Italy this summer, I found it said a trail run. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to go try this 8 kilometer trail run. Well, it was basically 4 kilometers straight uphill on a goat path. So it wasn't a run, it was a walk. But that was super fun. Most interesting, I've run on beaches. I've run in some pretty bad zones, industrial zones, parking lots. You just got to get your run in. But they're all unique and they're all fun, I think. Not one stands out more than other. What about you? What's the most interesting spot that you've run?
Before we go towards me, I was going to ask, like in any of these odd runs where you're in like an industrial zone or commercial, have you ever had an injury and then you're just like, shoot, and now I have to walk back and like or hobble back and I'm in this like sketchy zone? Anything like that?
Renegades, strap in for a gear drop that's going to supercharge your running and style. We are stoked to spotlight Path Project's latest apparel, built for runners who live for the grind and want to look damn good doing it. First up, the James Peak shirt, a trail-ready beast with Toray.Air Prime Flex fabric. It's crazy breathable, sweat-slaying, and stretchy, keeping you fresh from the sunrise sprints to those post-run hangouts. Next, the Fortuna Hybrid short. This is your do-it-all wingman, crafted with Delta Weave, recycled nylon and spandex. These water-resistant, quick-drying shorts are perfect for the run, swims, or just chilling, with slick pockets for your essentials. And don't you sleep on their famous Graves PX running short, re-engineered with Featherlight Prime Flex fabric and secure pocketing. They're built for crushing all your miles. Founded in 2018, Path Projects delivers runner-first gear with soul. Check them out at pathprojects.com. Make 2025 your fiercest running year yet. And thank you to Path Projects. You can use the code TRP10 for 10% off your order for a limited time. So check them out. Unfortunately or fortunately, no, I have not encountered an injury in an awkward zone that I've had to like wander back. I think about it though, like especially on a trail run.
Yeah.
I think about it like, if you're 5K into a run. There's one run outside of Burlington, Ontario, off Lake Conservation Area. I love this place. And you run from one conservation area to the other. And it's probably like 17 kilometers in total. And you're kind of remote. You're on this, an old trail. And I worry sometimes if you trip, like, how are you going to get out of here? I guess I call somebody to come get me. Like, hey, Jen, can you come pick me up 3 hours away?
Yeah. Or else you become bear food. Well, maybe not in Burlington, but.
Yeah, I think there's bears in Burlington. Could be a raccoon, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Especially, as close you get to the GTA, they're everywhere. Those things. Opposable thumbs. Gotta watch out for those guys. They're going to take over the world. For me, I would say nowhere weird that I've ever really ran, but kind of like with what you said, being able to explore an area. So I was fortunate enough to go to a conference in California, and I made sure every morning, like I had to get up, and I was so excited to get out to run because we were down near Dana Point, if anyone knows where that is, and it was just gorgeous, and the beaches and the sun coming up, like you'd want to get out out to the beach for when the sun was rising, and it was just gorgeous. So that's how I learned about the overall area. So then I could go and find like souvenirs later or explore places later on when you had some friends with you to like go out for a drink or dinner or something like that too. So it was a great way to just see the area in, like I think I was running like probably the longest I'd run consistently. Maybe like normally I'm a 5K kind of guy, but I would think I was trying to fit in some 10s. I'll have to go back and check my Strava back then, but there were some days where I was just walking and running and just enjoying it. So yeah,
there's just something
that.
about connecting with a new environment. You probably, when you're out, like, I don't know, because not too many people are doing that kind of stuff. So you are out by yourself, probably. You get a unique perspective. You're out early in the morning, the sun's rising. There's just something really cool about that.
Oh yeah, and like out there, the tide, it'd be in or out, and it reveals so much of, you get more beach, and it was just really, it was cool. So not something that was part of an everyday, part of my life. So it was really neat. I really appreciated that opportunity.
One thing that's kind of fun, maybe along the same lines, is when folks usually go out of town for a marathon, there's a lot of things they call shakeout runs. So you'll organize a meetup with some friends and you'll go do a shakeout run the day before. This year we were in London, Harvey and I, and we were helping out Path Projects, and we were going to do a shakeout run with Path Projects. And Lawrence Van Lingen was there. And it was like Saturday morning, 9:00. We're going to meet in Kensington Park. All right. So no idea. We shared it on Facebook, some socials. We're figuring maybe 20 people will show up to this Kensington Park. So we take the subway down, pop out. Next thing you know, we kind of get to the park and there's a lot of people there. And I'm like just looking around and talking to Lawrence. More and more people are showing up. All of a sudden, this angry like park manager comes over to the group and says, "Who's organizing this shakeout?" And Harvey right away points to me. So this guy, he comes over. He's so angry. He's like, "You're not allowed to have a race in this park." And I'm like, "Well, this isn't a race. We're just like meeting up before the marathon tomorrow." And I didn't know all these people were going to show up. And this guy was like really livid. So then I did the old like, just, this is terrible. I'm sorry to put you out. Like, where can we go? Like, I'm from Canada. I have no idea what to do. He kind of calmed down a little bit. And he's like, "Okay, as long as you guys go stand in the grass over there, you'll be fine." So we go stand in the grass. There's like 150 people. What happened? Long story short, Lawrence made a connection to a Virgin Radio host in England, who he was on the episode, and he invited everybody to come out to the shakeout. So meanwhile, I almost got arrested in London for a shakeout run. So Flores, you might have had to bail me out, but it was fun. It was a fun run. It was a fun run along Kensington Park, Kensington Palace. It was really nice.
That is so cool. I thought it was just all the fans of the podcast. They came out and they were just like, "Hey, 150 of us here out in London."
I think what was the guy's name? I'm thinking Chris Everett, but I don't think it's Chris Everett. I'll take a double check here. Chris Evans, maybe?
Chris Evans, isn't he an actor?
I think he is. Chris, right there. It was Chris Evans. He's the host of the Chris Evans Breakfast Show on Virgin Radio and creator of CarFest. So he befriended Lawrence and they were best buddies, and his 200,000 followers got the message and they all showed up to the Path Project Shakeout run. It was fun. Pretty interesting. So that's an interesting run.
Amazing.
Now, it provided a lot of stress the day before the marathon because I thought I was going to get arrested or like fined in Britain. And what you're reading in the news, like, if you post something wrong on Facebook, they're like, "What are they going to do to me here? I'm the guy associated with organizing a shakeout run in Kensington Palace or Kensington Park."
That's funny. Wow. I don't remember hearing that. That's hilarious. Oh, Todd. Jeez. Okay. On this episode of Short Shorts, we call it, I'm going to do something better than that. This episode of Short Shorts is called Gear Gone Wild. From retro sneakers to futuristic gadgets. So Todd, if you had to run a marathon with only one piece of gear from the Stone Age to now, what would it be and why? So I know you like your flip-flops.
That's
not
easy.
Your flip-flops, sorry, your sandals. What's it going to be?
That's easy. There's only one piece of gear you truly need to run a marathon. That's
Squirrel's
a good
not butter.
pair of it relates to that. A good pair of like spandex, liners or spandex shorts or the Path Project's base liner and shorts. You have to have a good pair of shorts to have a good suspension because you don't want to be running 26.2 miles flopping around out there. I'm just saying. I could go with anything else. I could go barefoot. Yeah. But if you were naked, that would be pretty tough, I would think. Yeah. What about you?
If you
first
stop
ran a marathon.
Well, no, I do agree that you have to stop the flop. You
Gotta stop the
make
flop.
sure you gotta take care of that. And if it was only one piece, then yeah, I think I'd want to be covered, and I'd probably just run barefoot then. But I would also say, like, I'm sure, like, back in the Roman times, there were some pretty cool sandals that, I mean, I don't know how fast they were running back then, but it would be interesting to try. Or what about platforms? That'd be a twisted angle right there. So maybe not ideal.
That'd be tough news.
I'd say my headband. I'm just kidding. Imagine that. It's like one piece of equipment and you don't have anything else. I don't think the question was
Headband.
just one
That's an
piece
interesting piece of equipment. Like your
headband.
The headband is not really doing anything else other than keeping probably sweat off your brow.
So I don't know what's worse, flopping or sweaty eyes. I really
you'd
hate
have
that
to be running
stinging.
pretty fast to get super sweaty eyes. Like, so at some point you run out of sweat. You're going to run out of sweat.
Well, I mean, it could be really hot and I could be really slow, and then it's just a decision between the sweaty eyes or a flop. Man. Yeah.
But being
I think it's
serious about, no, I was going to say, like, being serious about it for both guys and gals, there can be flop, maybe just different areas, maybe the same areas. I don't know. I'm just saying there can be some flop, and you don't usually notice it till after the race when everything starts to calm down a little bit and you'll start to feel like a burn. It's usually when you go take your shower after a race. So if you chafed because of some flopping, it's not fun, let me tell you. It can burn pretty bad. Luckily, that's where Mark's favorite squirrel's nut butter comes in, or the Path Project's independent suspension comes in, where you have the base liner and a pair of shorts, so you're not getting that chafing.
What's the best treatment after a run and you've gotten, like, especially a long run, and it's that burn setting and you're like, you can't do anything? Is it just talcum powder? Is that just the go-to, or is it?
I think you just got to toughen up and just fight through it. You just got to fight through it. Probably put a little bit of lotion on it if it really hurts that bad.
Well, there's chemicals in lotion. I mean, it could get irritated, I think.
It's a rookie mistake. Do not beat yourself up. New listeners, if you're going for your first race, if it's a half marathon or it's a marathon, you most likely are going to chafe a bit. So be prepared.
In place of nut butter, squirrel's nut butter, sorry. I mean, that's for everyone, but could you use like deodorant, anything to help things glide, I guess?
I guess.
Or are there things used?
Vaseline.
But not A53.
Yeah, there's no rub. No rub A535. It might make you run a little bit faster. You never know. But you got to be careful. Like sometimes at the big races, like if you go to the aid stations, they'll have like the special tub of Vaseline that all the runners can use. It's like a tub of Vaseline, or they'll hand out like little things of Vaseline. But by that time, like, I'm serious. Yeah. If you're feeling it, it's a little bit too late. There's no coming back. Like once you chafe, you chafe.
And you never want to be the, mid-pack person that's putting their hand in that Vaseline jar. Right?
Yeah, like, come here, Vaseline. Yeah, the communal Vaseline.
Yeah, no double dipping.
And chafing can happen, Mark, on the nipples as well. So I'm going to call out Harvey, our special guest host, every now and then. We ran the Windsor waterfront a few weekends back, and he had bloody nipples. And he's too much of a veteran runner to have bloody nipples. Harvey, I'm calling you out. You should not have bloody nipples after you've done hundreds of races.
Did it stain through his shirt?
Yeah, he said he could see it. So usually for marathons, you can put Band-Aids on. Sometimes I put Band-Aids on.
Yeah? Like an X pattern?
Yeah, put Band-Aid on.
Or just a single?
Next pattern. Just singles. And then you can buy these little things that you get them at the expo, like these little things you put on your nipples. New runners, if you're going to run your first half or your first full this fall, get some Band-Aids or those little nipple covers. You do not want to have your race photo ruined with bloody nipples. No excuse.
Or maybe you do. Be a conversation piece one time. That's great. That's good stuff. Since we last chatted, what's any new gear or anything like that you've picked up? Anything that you've been looking at lately? Would you like to share? I mean, I don't know if you've gotten any new gear. This is just more of
any new deals,
gear. Any sales, any kind of just trying to think if I've ordered
anything either. About a month ago, we drove Jaden up to university, and I stopped at the Running Room in Peterborough. Shout out the Running Room in Peterborough. Fantastic little store. Love it. And I picked up a pair of Hokas. I know, ultra sorry, but I had a coupon code. not a coupon code. I had a gift card from a Christmas gift a couple years back, and I picked up a pair of Hokas. They're very light, very flexible. Hoka Pokas, yeah. But I like them. I wear them just every now and then, not too much, but they're really super cushiony. So that's kind of like new gear I got. Yeah. Other than that, I got the new Hyena high electrolyte beer. That's new gear, I would say. What about you? Are you back running yet?
I think I can get out tomorrow. I don't have any early morning meetings. Not until 9 o'clock-ish, I think. So that is usually my barrier. Because once I make lunches and get the kids to school, it kind of impacts things. And then I'm just not a nighttime runner anymore. Mornings are where it's at for me. It's a goal to get out there because this week I was traveling with work, so I didn't get a chance to do anything. I think I sat more than I did anything else, which is not good for the old hips or belly. So I will get out there. Yeah, I just need to, I think I can do it. Trail Angels are calling me, so I'll get there. It's a new month. I mean, I don't know the air date of this episode yet, but we're going into the fall here in southwestern Ontario, so it makes for some pretty comfortable running in the morning, just makes for some darker mornings. So safety message to everybody, make sure you are visible. Be seen. I did buy new gear. So do you remember in the, let's say the 80s, maybe early 90s, when there were those slap-on bracelets? Well, yeah. I got two really cool LED slap-on bracelets that you can wear when you're running in the morning, and you kind of look a little bit, I don't know, like you're part of like Tron or something like that, which is kind of cool. So, yeah, I'm going to try those out tomorrow morning. I still have my headlamp. I need that in the morning too around here, just because I'm on somewhat of a busy road until I get to the cemetery. And then that's
once you're in the cemetery, you don't have nothing to worry about. Or if you do have anything to worry about in that cemetery, you're in big trouble.
You know what? It's a happening place in the morning. There's typically there's people that are in there every morning that I recognize, and no, I can't see through them. They're actual people. And this one gentleman, I've yet to get his name, but he walks the equivalent of a half marathon every day. And that's just what he does. I see him in the cemetery, and then I see him on my walk to work when he's walking down one of the other roads. And he just goes, and he's older. He's definitely probably in his 70s. And yeah, he was telling me that he is in some sort of competition, like with his Fitbit, and he's always near the top of like the group that he's with of like number of steps per week or month, and it's just quite an accomplishment. So I don't think he listens to this podcast, but if you do, I salute you.
The Fitbit competitions, those step challenges. We remember we used to join those at work, and we knew the people who like supposedly walk 300,000 steps in a week, and you're like, no, you didn't walk 300,000 steps in a week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember.
I think what we learned,
I was running 90 kilometers. I was running 90-kilometer weeks, and then somehow somebody was still beating me with 300,000 walking steps somehow.
Well, that's because they make the equivalent of hours in the gym doing vigorous activity to steps, and I think there is some sort of misalignment there. So if you spend a half an hour, if you spend a half an hour in the gym, you're probably running for 4 hours. So that's what I mean. That's the hack.
Hot take here. I'm gonna upset our Renegade listeners here. If you're recording an hour of weightlifting, that's not equivalent to 25,000 steps. Let me tell you. Nope, sorry, hot take. But I know what you're saying.
I think I'd agree with that.
Thank you for listening to the Renegade Podcast. We'd love to hear from you. Send us a note. RunegadePodcast@gmail.com. That's RUNEGADE podcast@gmail.com. And we'd appreciate a like and a subscribe. You can check out our YouTube channel, and you can follow us on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. Remember, in a world of runners, be a renegade.